crunch. This is, we're going to start with this pretty basic concept. I said we reset most of our, I reset most of the planning on the school holidays. And what it'll do, it'll give me a new point of, a new starting point that we can delve into and start moving towards different aspects of it. So for me, it's a shoulder crunch system, and for no reason, just I haven't started with the shoulder crunch system as a starting point in my quarterly plans. I can't remember. I think it was probably like, maybe about 5 years ago I started with a shoulder crunch as a starting point. It's normally like full guard or mount or back control or half guard. So with the shoulder crunch, it opens up quite a variety of attacks and movements. The one thing I like about it is that even if you're flexible through the shoulders and the elbow, I'm still going to attack you and I'm still going to get something out of it. Maybe not the submission, but I'll be able to move you around. Okay, Mel, how's your shoulders? Good, okay, come here. Seated butterfly. The entrance is really cool, right? So just for a general, it's a general rule, but not like, you have to, is anytime I'm sitting front and center of my partner, we're in what we call like a 50-50. They can push me backwards, they can move to the left, they can move to the right, they can stand up. They have a lot more options than what I do as far as it goes. So first thing what I'm trying to do is from here is I'm going to throw my right hand backwards, my left hand goes to the head, and as an anchor point. Now, the anchor point, whether it's gi or no gi, I'm still going towards the head, I don't go to the front collar. If I'm on the front collar, there's still ability to stand up, get break, etc., etc. Once I'm on the head and I'm pulling forwards, it's like I've got this a lot better control. I have to post to come up. Second thing about it is this: I'm going to throw my right hand out to my right hand side. I'm going to pull my partner, use it like a shoving system to make my partner post on their left hand, which will be on my right side. I'm right about the left. So I throw my right hand out to the side, use my left hand to push, and now this is key. Under, and cut. The two things I want to make sure of this is I don't want what they call like a mere armbar where a male locks it and like attacks me. So how do I do that? What I'm doing is I'm expanding my elbows and I'm crunching my hands down. So it's very hard for my partner to retract, and even if they do, they don't get the ability to lock it in because my frame system's wide. This is the hardest part about the entire technique is I'm cutting through the shoulder. I'm going to slide backwards and fall to my right hand side, lift my left leg. I cut through the shoulder, fall, lift my leg, we take the top. The beautiful thing about it is that I'm now into a cutting armbar, or at least I've got the mount. So I'm taking the 2 points for the sweep, and I'm also going to mount, plus I'm straight onto the attack. It's quite hard for my partner to roll me over because the arm that they need to roll me is under attack. Okay, so control the head and this way. This way, if Mel kind of goes, I'll push items backwards, I've still got a frame system. Does that make sense? Slide, under, 1, 2, get my grip. Flare my elbows, pull the shoulder in, 180. I'm going to buy one of those cameras that actually moves around one day and just so I don't have to keep...
Then you need it on a track. You need
I've got a drone.
Mounted.
I'm going to do it on my drone.
Yeah, you could do it.
I'm going to do it on my drone. Yeah, what happened last time, Mal?
I wasn't here when it crashed.
Yeah, it did crash once in the other gym.
We took 6 people out. So, flare, cut through, and this is part. As I pull the shoulder in, I rock out to my side, but my hook carries. When I get to the top of this thing, I'm on the arm. They can catch me in half guard if they want to, it makes no difference. And all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start put my head on the ground, create a void, and now just pull the arm up into the valley. What I see people do is they're flat and it doesn't break, so create a valley from here. And all I'm doing is I'm rolling into my chest. How that feel?
It's actually really tight. So don't do it too tight in the partner because you will whip their shoulder. I've tried to flex my shoulder, but that's actually right on the edge. It's very good.
Wish Emma would say that to me. Okay, Em, come here.
This will be good. This is not flexing the shoulder.
Might need to edit this video.
Maybe not.
People ask me, why don't you have a microphone? I'm like, for that exact reason. So from here, right, so hard for Ian to sit up, make sure I'm posting backwards, slide out to my right, pull my partner, so I post, take rid of the post first, cup over, my palms this way. So the hand is like I'm giving him a back fist, here, shrug. Now, Ian's gonna make grunting noises, that's okay. I now pull the shoulder in. So if you're not flexible, you're gonna tap from this anyway. And what I'm doing is I'm extending and I'm pulling. So what I'm doing is my elbow, my right elbow pulls the left arm. I'll fall to my right hand side with my leg and I get to the top position. So once I'm here is I'm gonna come underneath. Can I slide you back 3 steps? 1, 2, 3. So from here, okay, I'm underneath the elbow tricep. Here, if I lay on the arm, it doesn't do anything. Put my head on the ground and lift up to get the cutting arm bar. Okay. The emphasis today, if you don't get the cutting arm bar, just make sure you get the sweep to mount. That's the emphasis, and then we can focus on the cutting arm bar later. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Shoulder, grab the fist. So the focus is the shoulder crunch, not the sweep. And the only reason I get the sweep is because I've got the shoulder crunch. So the most important thing about it, about this move today, is getting to the position on the shoulder crunch. And it's a relatively easy position, so control the head, post, out the side. Now what I'm doing is I'm scooping and my hands come to this side. So both hands, I've blocked the head out. The left elbow, my left elbow, so if shoulder does drive into me, I've got this ability to keep him at bay using my elbow. If I bring my hands together, he can crunch me, put me on my back and pass the guard. So it's very important that I'm 1, 2, flare my elbows. Now, to make this work, what I'm doing is I'm driving both of my wrists into my chest to put it on. Slide off and hook. They're going to catch the half guard. That's okay. Apply pressure to get the shoulder lock. Horrible, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shoulders up. I'm getting out of here.
Matthew, I know you've got sore shoulders, knees, neck, toes, fingers, but you've got a great beard. So if you think about it this way, right, is he wants to put his hand on the ground and I want to scoop it up off the ground. That's the easiest way I can describe it, is I'm scooping it off the ground. The next common thing is that they normally go, well, my head's here, I drive forward and down and push his back on the ground. Okay. So to stop that, I flare. You know, I know, you'll try hard. Okay, so the next part is on this, if you think about it this way, is this. If I pull my shoulders in now, I'm forcing my back to the ground, so I flare. See what's happening so now as I extend, I get the sweep. So it's really important, number one, is that I'm like giving him a back fist with his hand, so I can flare, and I'm almost trying to come underneath it. Once I've created a valley, I can pull into the valley. There's not much.
That one across the hand that really gets the
Well, what happens, it stops you from driving in. Number one, stops you from driving in. And number two, the frame system allows me to manipulate you where I want you to go. And you know, the question is going to be, what happens if they go that way? Okay, we'll answer that. What happens if they limp arm? We'll answer that. So you know, we're going to have a lot of Q&As. Ian, just come in again, please. Who the hell would give the kids a baseball bat out the back? That's okay, it was me. So if you think about this, okay, so number one is to stop the post with flare, that's the most critical thing. But if we go too far, they rescue. So underneath. Number two, to stop him from driving, I can frame, but I've given him a usable space for both arms. So what I'm doing instead is I'm flaring. So this will spread the elbow and the neck to put me in a better position. I've now created a void, so I simply pull him into the void. So he's going to tap like Ian's done, or they're going to try and relieve the pressure. Thank you. So they're almost going to put themselves into the sweep position because, you know, like the only way that they can't kind of go that way. So the only way that they can kind of go is the way I want to sweep them. The second thing that I see people fail on this one is that they do everything right. They go here, and they go like this, and they go, boom, and they're like, oh, and they pull their partner directly on top of them. It's not the end of the world, but you can do this a lot better. Right. So when I'm falling, right, can I shuffle you this way 3 times? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so stop them from standing, make them post. Shuffle out to the side so I can attack the elbow and I get a clear shot at the neck. If I'm too far in front, sometimes this is quite hard to get. So shuffle out, boom, take the post out, get my grips. Now, shoulder crunch. When I'm shoulder crunching, as I'm slightly pulling to my shoulder. I'm slightly pulling to my shoulder, flare and pull. Hook. Now, I know that they're going to catch the half guard. That's okay. Okay, apply my elbow pressure.
Yeah.
to start them to react. Okay, let's go again, guys. 1, 2, 3. Now, please. And I do a thing, I set the game up again, so head control to make sure that so it's more difficult for my partner to stand. It's easy for me to break him down if I have a head control from the back. Make sure that your arm's bent, that way there's no cutting arm bar that they can do to me as well. Number 2, always offside, attack, commander, lock it up. Now, what happens sometimes is that I do this with too much gusto, too much force, and my partner's head goes this side. So as I'm trying to rock them back up to my right, it's quite difficult to do, right? So I'm going to do instead is as they're down here, I'm going to shoulder crunch and roll everything to my left-hand side, so over the top. I fall, lift my leg, take the sweep. So what will happen is the shoulder lock or the arm bar's pretty much on.
Don't volunteer for this one.
Yeah. It's pretty much on. So it's only because they've driven too far to the opposite, which is nothing wrong with it, but bearing in mind that can happen, so we just go with it. It's easier to go with the flow and easier to go with momentum than it is to fight it. So it's exactly the same thing. So post, I get my shoulder crunch system, so 1, 2, and what Mel does is she like that. So I'm just going to shoulder crunch and roll down. So right about now the shoulder lock's on, I have my hook. Kick the hook, and this time I can step to the mount. I'm in exactly the same position again where I have the shoulder lock, and just head goes down and comes up. So it's exactly the same system, but we're going on the opposite side. The thing that I like about this is I don't have to go like, on my right side, it has to do this way, on my left side, we just do exactly the same thing. So spread the chin, spread the shoulders, crunch your shoulder, and the weight. So if the weight's going that way, I take them that way. If the weight's going that way, I take them that way. Using your hooks to elevate them. Okay, change partners, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly, yeah, don't change it. So just grab Esmail again. Esmail. Off the side, underneath, and right about now, Mel kind of goes, so if I'm extending, you kind of loosen your arm and get out of it. So it's one of the ways that we're going to be able to escape it. So there's 2 things that I need to make sure of. Number 1 is this, is if I'm pulling backwards first, I'll lose elbow connection. So what I see a lot of times, people go, I'll run it, so as I'm running down the arm, they simply go limp arm, and I almost pull it to the stage that helps them. So first things first is when I'm doing this, I always shut it up nice and high so it's on top of the shoulder. So that means that even if Mel limp arms now, it doesn't really matter. But let's just say that I'm getting to the stage on limp arm, I'm just going to cross my arms and take it back. Right, so I'm still doing the same mechanic. I'm just, as she limp arms, I arm drag. Right, really easy system. And even if I'm here and they're strong and I'm trying to get, all I'm doing is, the reason why I have my hands this way is, if I feel the limp arm, I just change my hands over. And I simply drag the elbow to the side. So whether it's high and I feel the limp arm, just cup it, but it's deep, not here, it's deep. Now, you don't go backwards. What I'm doing is I just simply drag and sit and come up and make an anchor point. I understand that both feet are underneath her, so as I pull, I hip escape out. 1, 2, using the belt mechanic to take it back. I don't have to get my, I don't have to worry too much about the hands. Right now it's more about the leg control, to control their hips. So I'd rather control the hips more than the shoulders. The shoulders, if I control the shoulders, like if I go for the choke, the hips are free to move and they can reverse and come up on top. So for argument's sake, we're going to get nice and deep underneath it. We're going to extend, and as we feel it, we're just going to cup over. Drag the arm across the body, belt line. And I do like to pin the arm so it's harder to move. Okay, I do keep my foot in right now. The reason being is I have contact with both feet. Sometimes I feel if I tap my foot out right now, she's got a lot more movement than I have. Yep, okay. So hooks stay in. Okay, what I'm doing is I pull to make it. Now, I can take my hook out, come over. Once I have both feet in, I can attack. What will happen generally is that from this point here, my partner's going to try and deny the secondary hook. Thank you. And now I can start my attack. So anytime that I'm attacking, I lift my foot up and the arm goes backwards, we're coming underneath the arm, and this will help be able to get me to a far better position for a really good back control. How does that feel?
shorter than my arm.
Okay, in, come hither. Okay. So you know what spaghetti arm is? Yeah, yep. Okay. So once again is, we're just going to start in the position from here. As I'm limp arming, so Ian, right, that's the other way, so go the other side, limp arm, cup over, make sure it's a deep cup. Just drag it across, control and control. Keep both feet in, bop. Hip escape 1, hip escape 2. As I put my hook in, they might try and defend the hook. So as I try and defend the hook, arm comes under, they'll give me the position to be able to take the better back control. Okay. Change partners, 1, 2, 3. You need to have a little bit of leg dexterity and there's a little bit of groundwork to do to get the finish, but it's a pretty solid finish. The way that I like about it is you're putting them back into what I call a safe zone. Mel, jump into my seated butterfly. So we're going to do two things here. Going to work on the same reaction on both sides. Okay, so as I get my grip from here, what Mel does is she gets a really good grip on my neck, and so I'm in that position where I can't get the separation. So she's giving me a big hug, like, hey, how you doing, man? I'm like, good, good, good. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do from here is I'm going to extend my, remove my left leg and extend it out as wide as I can and pull forward my hands. First thing, extend my left leg, pull forwards. Go straight to my triangle. The beautiful thing, because she's got attachment on me, she's already in the triangle position. I just have to move my legs to get it. Right. So what you're going to find is, when I first started to do this, is my right leg would always get caught and I'd pass the guard to my right hand side. So I'm in the position here, so they get the nice tight grip. So what I started from here is I just put my right foot onto the hip straight away. Rock out, and now it's an uber tight submission. Like really tight. It's
Still like that.
yeah, cutting the arm bar. So, you know, if they limp arm or risk it, they put themselves deeper inside the triangle. So for me, this is a really cool way to kind of bait them. And this would be one of the most common responses for high level people that are going to try and pressure pass you. They're not going to distance pass because the more that they extend the arm, the more chance I have to omoplata, cutting arm bar, etc. So on those common reactions that you go in high levels, you're going to go and they're going to crush me. So I'm just like here, so just a little bit of pressure, foot onto the hip. On the same side that I have the shoulder lock. Okay, extend, rock out, leg comes out and over. Just cross it up. Doesn't actually have to be a triangle at the moment. Now, I've got a valley. All I'm doing is I'm going to slowly just pull the shoulder into the valley. If they kind of go, I'm in a shoulder crunch, I'll rescue the arm, right? Then we just go to our traditional triangle choke. So the whole way, like it doesn't matter. I'm in such a good position to finish this either way. Ian, come hither. Okay, so once again, the shoulder crunch position, and I'm here. So what Ian does, he gives me a big cutter with his left hand. Oh, okay. So like I can't sweep. So first thing I do is I slide my right foot onto the hip and extend. Walk out, bring my left leg around, okay. So my partner doesn't have good balance and they fall over, I just take the cutting arm bar on the side anyway. If they have good balance, I'm going to take the triangle. So from here again, here gives me a cuddle. So first things first, kick, rock out. And now he might decide to hold on to my, like what he's doing now, where I can't get the triangle position from here. Okay, sliding. And just start to attack the arm. They'll normally go to defend the arm. Just rehash your triangle. So you've got the options to start, but the whole time I'm on the shoulder anyway, so it doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, go guys. Thank you. When I've been teaching this is possibly one of the hardest techniques I've ever had to teach. That's the most simple technique. For some reason, whenever I teach this, it goes south. And I don't know why. I'm still kind of working out. I taught it last night and had about 80% success rate, which I'm happy with. I think everyone tries to go back to what they feel they should do instead of doing what the flow is, right? So let me explain. So we're going to start off, and Mal's going to be on side control. and she's going to have what I call a heavy crossface. Right, so heavy crossface, side control, and my arm. So first thing I'm going to do from here is I'm going to push, and I'm going to try and get my hand on the inside of the frame system or the crossface. Right, so I push. Second thing is I try and get my elbow underneath. The only way that I can get my elbow underneath my partner is by turning in towards my partner. Right, so this elbow, so I go push, 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 elbow comes under, and Mel's going to start to go no way and drive into me. So she drives into me. This is the hardest part, is this. I'm trying to lift my elbow to the ceiling, I'm trying to pull Mel over my head. So there's going to be a little bit of like temporary pain where Mel lands on my face. It's okay. I'm going to give you guys a quick heads up. I'm going to wrist lock her as I do this. So the person that's on top, just be very wary of your wrist position. So what I see people do now is they try and take their partner, they try and throw their partner over their stomach. That's a perfect opportunity for my partner on top to upgrade to knee right or to mount. So what I'm doing instead, think about this first, I'm trying to take my head underneath as close to the hips as I can. I'm going to try and raise my elbow as high as I can. So I start to look towards my partner, get my elbow in. Now a little bit of a bridge. And now from here, Mel can't put a weight down because my elbow frame system's underneath her. If you have a look at her left hand, right, and right hand, so both palms on the ground. So this is a wrist lock because I'm basically pulling my weight down from here. The part that I see people do now is that they try and bridge. What I'm doing is simply I start to walk my legs this way. Now, yeah, sorry, you okay there, Mel? And turn to get on top, and I get a really nice heavy crossface, side control. So okay. Frame system. Number one, push and grip. Like I'm doing exactly the same thing, I'm doing the shoulder lock mechanic, okay? Push and grip. Bridge, elbow goes under, turn and grab the belt. So if we're at the frame system, it'll be this, but instead of the frame system, I'm just changing my hand to the belt. The part that I sit looking at, people try and roll them this way. What we're going to do instead is we're going to walk and just going to slowly raise my elbow. Now that's a wrist lock right about now. So just be very, allow your partner to lose it. Okay, so now keep walking. And as you roll, come to here. For me personally, right, I like to punch my hand across from here and take the top position. This to me, as my partner does try to roll or try to move, it's quite difficult for them to move and roll. I can then upgrade, slide straight to the arm bar, come to whatever position I want, or simply take the top position. Cool, thank you. Matt.
I would never.
What, side control, mate?
Yeah, never.
Okay, so once again, this is the key. So this is like the shoulder lock mechanic that I need, right? So I need to make sure that there's a little bit of space. What I'm doing from here is I move away. I'm just simply going to get my elbow underneath my partner and grab. So most people right about now can go, oh, there's a big space as I drive in. The part that I see people do is the elbows out, so they can't do the roll. So people then try and roll them over the stomach. So what people do is they try and throw them over the stomach, and this is when Matt's got the opportunity to upgrade to knee ride mount, shoulder lock, and generally do stuff he'd love to do to me, but has never had the opportunity to. Okay, so push. Make sure this elbow goes underneath the stomach. So what I'm doing is underneath the stomach, and I'll turn. So now if Matthew drives in towards me from here, all I'm going to do is this: I'm going to keep turning, and now watch. This elbow, the top elbow, pulls, and it's going to start to roll my partner. Now, if I can't get, no, you're okay. If I can't get my partner to roll, right, and because his base or is too heavy, I simply hip a step and I back into my guard. So if you get to the stage where they are too heavy because they've posted, you've still got the space to recover your guard. The way this works best is because they're going to drive straight back into you to try and get the rollover. Like most things in jiu-jitsu, there's a little bit of variance on weights and all that. What I find for myself is if I make my partner push backwards and drive back into me, I find I get a really good reaction off this instead of like we are now where we're sitting still. Right, so this works better on a live roll against a heavier person than it does against a lighter person. Ian, come in, thank you, Matt. Side control, cross face. Okay, so rule number one is this: push your shoulder, push, grip underneath, elbow comes under, hold the belt. Start to turn my head as deep as I can underneath my partner, a little bit of a bridge shot from here. You got your rescue, your hand, okay? Okay, a little bit of bridge. And your partner's weight comes over my shoulder. This is the part that's the hardest part. This is walk, come on top.
It's just that cylinder thing again.
Yep, yep. Cylinders roll. So do you guys. Someone your own size, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. And super quick butterfly guard. And I get the head control, come underneath, wicked, fantastic. Mel uses the right hand to push my far knee down and passes guard. Boom. I flip over, come underneath, and I get it all. So I can put this system together, so even if I fail from the shoulder crunch and they do the correct guard pass, I'm still using the shoulder crunch system to roll them over. So one more time. So it'll be once again, so I get the shoulder, and the counter, it's not the counter, it's one way to deal with it, is by pushing that knee down as I roll, you actually get past the guard. So I've still got the shoulder crunch, I just change my grip. Very simple, okay. Underneath from here, drive, from on top, and here we are. So the system kind of goes from the side control, from the seated butterfly, so we run the same system. It's the same concept, elbow underneath, split them up and roll them over. Okay guys, we're going to just do a very quick drill, 2 minutes top and 2 minutes bottom to finish off. I know some of you guys have to do that dirty word called work. If you have to go early, you can leave, otherwise just grab a quick drink, jump on, 1, 2, 3.